There's a pattern that I've known in high achieving women, including myself, a lot of my friends as well, a younger version of myself, where it's like we're always trying to prove ourselves, trying to prove that we're better, trying to prove that we're one of the boys, trying to prove that we deserve respect. And what is so counterintuitive is that the more I've moved away from having to prove myself and focused on just being good, having vision, and doing the things that I need to do, the better my life has gotten, the more money that I've made, the more energy I've had for myself outside of work. Like, I have enough energy to make these videos for you guys. I have enough resources to be able to chase my dreams. And before, I was just doing. Like, I was doing things for other people. I was doing favors. I was doing a favor for this person. And why? Well, we're going to go into that in this video, but the simple answer is that I got praise. I was addicted to praise. I was addicted to attention. I had validation issues. And if you're watching this, you probably do too. So I'm going to walk you through why you're like this, how I solved it, and what to do next. Like, how to even fill this gap that is doing too many things for other people. Because I'm sure if this is an issue for you in work, it's also been an issue for you in like your romantic relationships, where, you know, when you're in that romantic relationship, you probably even forget about work for a little bit. Or maybe you are just that person who works a little bit too much, a little bit too doing things for everyone, and I just don't want you to end up like that angry rat in the corner, right? Because that's what would happen to me. I would get burned out. I wouldn't want to talk to anyone. If I did talk to anyone, it was super unpleasant, and it wasn't even me. So how do you reclaim your own energy? How do you reclaim your identity? And how do you stop doing this toxic thing that is putting your whole identity into what you do for other people? That's what we're going to get into today. I want to get into first the idea of achievement, because I think this gets dangerous when you're competent. Because when we look at behavioral psychology, I want to bring in the idea of variable reward reinforcement. So if something works like 1 out of 10 times, we're still likely to do that behavior. You can look into operant conditioning as well. I think I've talked about it in other videos. But we do what we think that we're going to get something out of on a subconscious level, even if we don't get it all the time. If it's a variable reward, we're going to get addicted to it. And so you think that doing all of these things for all these other people is working for you because 1 out of every 10 times, you know, it yields results. But what you don't know, which I'm going to share with you that worked for me, is that you can build up your skills and you can wait for the right opportunity and you can say no. And then all of a sudden you go from like 1 out of every 10 shots making it in to maybe like 5 out of every 10 shots taking it in. But it takes that discipline to move away from spending so much time taking a bunch of different shots, whereas you can aim better and get less reinforcement in your behavior, because probably the shots are going to be more spread out, but you're going to have more energy because you're still going to make the same amount of baskets, but you're going to be taking less shots. You see the analogy here. You want to put your energy into things that really matter and do them well, and say no to things that really aren't within the vision of what you are looking for. A good example of this that I'll use is, I really think that I was doing too many things for too many people, and then I really honed in and focused. I've made other videos on this too, where how I made my first 100K in sales, like my first 100K contracts. Like, I consistently for 12 weeks did 3 sales calls, 2 networking events, and 1 thing free for my existing clients every single week for 12 weeks. And I was consistent in my goals. I was consistent in what I wanted to do. This required planning, right? So each week I would go on my calendar and I would have to be like ruthless about how am I going to make this happen? How am I going to let go of other things? I was sacrificing things and it made me uncomfortable, but I was sacrificing my short-term comfort for what I wanted most, which was to get 100K in contracts for myself, right? Like, I got that money. I'm not talking about at this point, like, I guess at first I split it with someone else. Now it's all mine, right? So doing that allowed me just so many other things in my life. And I knew that getting that result and working towards that result had to be more important to me than what other people thought about me or how much I was giving back, because I needed to build in my skills in order to help people. And I think this is a mistake that we make a lot as women, because we are so naturally giving. A lot of us are selfless to the point of manipulation, right? We do too much because we expect things back. I feel like now, even me saying this, like, I've been more selfish, I've been more self-focused, I've been working on myself. Like, I am still probably like 70% selfless. Like, I really still like to help other people. Like, that's why I'm making all this free content. Like, eventually I'll charge. Like, you see, I have like book calls because I want to protect my own time. And also, I do believe in investing yourself. Like, I've invested thousands into my career, and I think that's what's actually changed me, is investing in myself. But I still want to give back as much as possible to a younger version of me to help her learn from my mistakes. So the achievement's going to come, and you probably will get good opportunities from just doing. It's not going to be the opportunities that you want if you don't really aim at those and say no to everything that isn't that. You got to let the universe know what you want by also being adamant about weeding out the shit that you don't want. I want to talk a little bit more about my personal experience with overworking and overgiving, like, because for me it had really bad health effects. So if you resonate with this, like, please, this video is for you. So for me, this showed up in ways that I didn't even realize at the time. I was waking up at 4 a.m., like cortisol, whatever, like really high stress. I weighed 55 pounds more than I weigh right now. I just like pounded energy drinks. I still have energy drinks pretty often. So, but I had like 2 a day. I was just like living off them. I needed them to survive. I was obsessed with hustle culture. I didn't let myself have any time off, which I think that there is a season if you have to work hard where you just have to work hard, right? But this was all the time. And I would also burn out. My health would get bad. I didn't look after myself. Like, I didn't look after my sleep, and I overstressed my body. I always felt behind. I just had this need to be liked and to feel exceptional, whereas now my focus is on how do I develop? How do I help? How do I make sure that I am centered enough on myself so that way everything that I give out is pure, right? So it's a completely different energy. And there's also this energy of I have to protect myself, which I didn't really have that before, where I am like fiercely protective over my spirit, you know, my vulnerabilities, my insecurities. Like, I really just like I guard myself a lot more. I'm more protective of myself and my energy. And, you know, I think a lot of that comes from my strength in God, right? Because I know that God is going to be there for me and He protects me. And so I listen to God's advice and I do that for myself. So God, the universe, whatever it is that you believe in, like me personally, I'm Christian, so I like to share that part of my journey. But that's just what works for me. That's what helped me really get to the point where I protect myself, where I feel bored by bad behavior, where I do the things that allow me to live the life that I actually want. And if you are experiencing those symptoms that I just expressed, I just want you to know that ironically, I started making more money once I stopped operating from a sense of panic. So if you've resonated with the things that I went through, like what I'm getting at is that if you feel like you're overperforming, yet you're still not achieving the things that you actually want to achieve, and you feel like it's actually burning out your body, if it's like not getting you where you want to go, like having the emotional regulation required to be really good at business, to be really good at anything, requires you to invest in yourself, requires you to have people not like you, not praise you. And that's the most uncomfortable journey. That's a lonely journey. I've been there. Yet it's so rewarding and so fulfilling. And if you're able to make it a spiritual journey as well, it's not going to be as lonely as you think. You're going to attract the right people. Like, I just want you to have so much trust that these things are going to happen for you if you act in accordance with what you actually want. It's not just about manifesting like what people say. It's like you have to ask the universe, God, and then act, right? Really focus on what you don't want, what you do want. Like, and anything that comes in your view that you don't want, just be like, no. It's like if you were trying to go to California, don't let someone try to convince you to go to New Hampshire. Like, that would be crazy. Like, oh, I'm just going to make a quick pit stop to New Hampshire on the way to California. No, you got to know where you're going. And don't let people slow you down or convince you otherwise. Like, there is room for balance, right? Like, we're going to have to make compromises in our relationships and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, like, you need to know where you're going and what you can handle enough to go in the right direction and not burn out. Don't let these little successes that aren't quite what you want be the thing that you sacrifice what you really want for. Protect your energy. protect your little kid inside. Subscribe, like, that way I know that I should make more content like this, and I'll see you next time.